Today we're talking to Paul from LittleBits. So Paul, tell us first, what are LittleBits and what do you do there?
Sure. So LittleBits are a library of electronic modules that snap together with magnets, and I work on product development, coming up with new bits and kits that we sell.
Okay, so for people who might not be familiar with LittleBits, maybe give us a little background. How does it work?
Sure. So it's a color-coded system. You start off with a blue power bit, and then a simple circuit would involve adding just a green output bit at the end. And then if you want to control that bit, you can take something like a pulse module and then put that in between, and then you can create some sort of interaction, something that you can control, adjust the speed. If I put, let's say, a bend sensor in between, then I can control the brightness of the LED based on how much flexes in the sensor.
That's pretty cool. So it almost like makes electronics design accessible to someone who's not an electrical engineer.
Right. So it's everything snaps together. The magnets are kind of a real easy way to prototype and mix and match modules to experiment with. And there's no wiring or soldering or any programming involved. It's all just really plug and play.
So tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New Jersey. Kind of tinkering with electronics and things like that, kind of from a young age.
Okay, yeah. So tell us about that. What's some of the first things that you built?
I got into electronics kind of through music, and so building effects for guitars and things like that. Yeah.
And so, did your parents encourage that kind of behavior when you were building effects for guitars and making a lot of noise?
Yeah, they didn't discourage it. I was kind of, doing my thing, and it's not really a part of what they did, so it was just kind of a hobby for me, yeah.
Cool. So what were you doing 2 years ago before you got to LittleBits?
Before LittleBits, I was working, doing freelance electronic design, kind of working on one-off prototypes for people that were trying to get stuff manufactured mostly. Yeah.
Cool. And then so for people who maybe they're like a designer and they're thinking about what they can do with this stuff, like what's some of the cooler stuff that you've seen people do?
Well, we recently did a really cool project with the MoMA Design Store, where we created, in conjunction with this design firm in New York called Labor, to create these big kind of mechanical sculptures, kinetic sculptures. So these were really, the idea was to do something big with LittleBits. So we had these big, human-sized rotating wheels and a shark that would swim, or look like it was swimming. So those are some kind of really cool things. And then we get a lot of really interesting projects that come in from our users posting to our community page, things that they would use as like little alarms in their house or little flashlights and things like that.
Cool. So if people want to learn more about LittleBits, where do they go?
You can go to littlebits.cc, and that'll basically tell you everything you need to know. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Paul.
All right. Thank you.